Hello and welcome to another episode of Discount Pokemon Decks. Today's deck is Pyroar, but it's not this Pyroar that you see on the screen here. This Pyroar is the original one I wrote up for Pokédex Central. That is the website I've told you about in the past that I write for. There's lots of cool stuff there, lots of great articles on trends and decks and all kinds of stuff, so highly recommend you check that out. But this was the original Pyroar deck I made out, and the idea was Pyroar's attack takes 3 energy, so let's get Silvally to help out with energy acceleration. Problem with Silvally right now is not Silvally so much as the meta. He is weak against fighting decks, and right now, if you're playing and you're current and up to date, you know fighting decks are everywhere. So he does not make a good deck, and I think sometimes you can't just build your deck in a vacuum. You want to build your deck knowing what your deck's likely to face and think about the matchups there, and he just does not work. It's easy 2 prizes if you can't get him out of the game quickly with something like a scoop up or whatever, so it doesn't work as well. And it was interesting, I found when I took him out, the deck worked a lot better. So here is my updated version of Pyroar. And this is the deck I'm presenting to you today. It is a budget deck, budget-ish. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I mean, the only expensive card here, I think, is Lele. But we can talk about how you could tweak the deck around it. But this card is actually pretty darn good and pretty exciting. There aren't a lot of fire decks left around these days. I mean, you'll see a couple here and there, but it's kind of fallen out of favor. And with the rise of metal, you know, there's definitely room for it. There's still some grass decks out there too, so you don't see a lot of fire, so you catch your opponent a little bit unaware. They're expecting maybe Volcanion or something else, and it's good to hit them up with something different. In any case, the focal point of this deck is Pyroar's Dominating Fangs attack. Okay, as I mentioned before, it takes 3 energy to power up. It's 80 plus 60 if you have Lysandre Labs in play. I talked about this previously, and maybe I should expand on it a little bit. You want to hit for, I would say, if you want to hit for 120 per turn. I think 100 is okay. 120 is good. So this hits for 140, so it goes a little bit above and beyond. And the reason why I would say 120 is, if you're only hitting for 100, you're going to have trouble knocking out something in 2 turns that's more than 200 health. So you can think of Golisopod. There's a bunch out there that are 210, 220, 240. You're going to have a hard time knocking that out. But if you're at 120, 2 turns, you're doing 240, you're going to hit and knock out in 2 turns a majority of the Pokemon. This gives you 140, so that puts you closer. That'll knock out a lot of things that other things wouldn't. There's a lot of 130 Pokemon out there, 120 Pokemon out there. If you can manage 20 more with Kukui here, that gives you 160, and that'll definitely knock out a lot of things that are out of reach. So it's definitely a good place to hit. 150 would be a little bit better, but you know what, I'll take 140. Definitely for a 1 prize card, you're doing a lot of damage, and I think you're going to the idea is to win out those battles, especially against GX decks and even smaller decks. You know, again, you're doing 140. If your opponent's only doing 100, well, guess who's going to win out in the end? Eventually, attrition's going to work in your favor. So that is our focal point. We always have a focal point of our deck, and of course, we try to enhance that focal point. So some of the synergy. So in the original one, you know, again, I talked about the problem with this deck is that it's 3 energy to power up the attack. So I have Volcanion here to, you know, as a kind of intermittent, that's not the right word I'm looking for, but basically a middle card to help power up. And you can even play him early on in the game. It's a little bit harder if you don't have energy in your discard, but once 1 or 2 Pyroar have hit the deck, you can use him to power up some more quickly. But I find I don't even need him that much because Max Elixir does a pretty good job. And a few times I'll find that I'm just powering up guys, you know, if I get 1 or 2 Max Elixirs, it's putting me ahead of the game. I really don't need to use Volcanion at all. So I end up just using Pyroar and Max Elixir, but Volcanion's there. You know, you have some games that just go that way. And, you know, I think about half the time I think Volcanion gets in. The other half, I don't need him. Obviously, the other part of our focal point, I kind of skipped it a little bit, is Lysandre Labs. Pokemon tool cards in play have no effect, both yours and your opponent's. So obviously, you do not have any Pokemon tools in this deck. That would be what do we call it? Anti-synergy. Basically, antagonist card. It would be an antagonist to have a card that a tool card in this deck. So, where was I? Lysandre Labs. So energy acceleration, good. Lysandre Labs is part of our focal point with Pyroar's attack, and it does another thing. The cool thing is, so yes, you can't have any tool cards in your deck, but it also eliminates your opponent's tools. So the choice band he might use to try to knock out your Lele is worthless, and their float stones, all worthless. Bursting balloons, worthless. You know, you think about a lot of decks that rely on float stones, and you have just totally, instead of using using Field Blower to get rid of them, you're using this to make them so they can't just put another one on. They'd have to actually find their own Field Blower to knock this out before you do it, and you still have your Field Blower, so you can hit them up both ways. So a lot of decks that rely on float stones and other tool cards are totally worthless. So that strengthens this deck. Another thing that strengthens this deck is Pyroar's ability. This is an excellent ability. Whenever your opponent plays an item or supporter card, prevent all effects done to this Pokemon. The most coolest thing is Guzma, and you'll see opponents, because again, making a deck that doesn't really fit in with, you know, the meta, or you know, playing something that's outside of what people are you know, accustomed to, they don't know how to play against this. So I will get someone, you know, every other game, every third game, someone try to Guzma Pyroar and get him before he's ready to go, and it fails because they are not allowed to target this card with item and supporter cards. So it's a cool little feature of this deck. You know, if you're, you know, I've talked about chess in the past. If you like playing, you know, sometimes you know, you're supposed to learn all the classic openings, but if you play one of those off-the-wall openings, you have your opponent at disadvantage. And sometimes even if you play something that's a little unsound, if they don't know the proper way to defeat it, you could put yourself at a good advantage because now they're not used to what they're seeing. So that's why I like to play lots of gambits. All right, so I mean, that's pretty much it. The rest of the deck is kind of standard. Obviously, some rescue stretchers because we want to get these Pyroars back and Litleos because, you know, for 6 prize cards, we don't want them attacking these. We want to keep using these guys over and over again. So obviously, we need a couple of those and a Super Rod. I do have a Kukui here, so, you know, to get that 20 more damage if we need it. Everything else is pretty standard. So I talked before about making this more budget. So if you don't have any Lele, that's fine. What you can do is you could swap it out for, let's say, 2 Oranguru, I think would be the easiest. I think Remoraid Octillery might get a little messy, but go for it. If you feel like, hey, you can build that and make that, go that way and make it. If I were doing that, if I were going with Lele, I'd probably try a little more item cards. Maybe get rid of 1 or 2 Brigets for maybe some nest balls, maybe a timer ball as well. Because the idea is you want to get rid of cards of your hand, and Brigets will basically stuff up your hand. So you need something to get Brigette out. I mean, the Ultra Balls are okay. Plumeria might help. Sophocles oddly does not, because sure, you're getting rid of Brigette, but then you're putting 4 more cards in your hand, so it doesn't really work. So you'd want to put cards like that, maybe even Judge or another Gladion, to basically keep your hand small so that the Orangurus will have more of an effect. And that's the way I would go with it. The other way you can go is 1 Oranguru. The combo I've grown to like these days is 1 Oranguru, 1 Remoraid, 1 Octillery, or maybe 2 Oranguru that way. So, but then again, you're kind of crunching your deck for size. So again, I think Brigets would be the first to go, although Brigette helps you get the Oranguru out. So again, my choice would be just swap out the Leles for some Orangurus, get rid of some Brigets, maybe put in another Gladion or a Plumeria, just something to thin out your hand a little bit. Because again, cards like this, these are going to get stuck in your hand, so it's going to be harder with Oranguru. You want something that brings more cards in and out, even Judge if you use the Orangurus, because then you only need to play 2 item cards to be able to activate. So, all right, there we go. I think that's pretty much it. You know, I really like Pyroar. It was one of my first favorite cards when I started. I think the Ancient Origins one was pretty cool. So I was excited to see this back in a way that can be used, and you know, I'm excited to play a game and crossing my fingers it's a good one. I'm only playing one game these days, you know, to keep things short so I can make more videos and stay on top of this. And you know, you never know what you're gonna get with one game. You can get something great, and sometimes you can just get a total bust. So we're gonna play right now. All right, here we go. Oh no, water. Hope it's just psychic and not really a water Pokemon. That would be unfortunate. Yeah, that scares me a little bit. Because obviously you don't want to see a water deck here. Oh, this is not a bad startup. That double colorless is a little problematic, but what we can do is we can work around this a little bit. We may have to sacrifice our Volcanion, but use Ultra Ball with Cynthia and this energy to put a Litleo down and put the double colorless on top. Oy vey. Oh boy. So the psychic in his deck is going to be Lele. But this may not be the worst. This may not be the worst thing here. I'm gonna say it's possible to win this. Oh, this is a great hand. This is a great hand. The double colorless I could do without, but that's okay. Let's just roll with it, all right? Because he can be half powered up by the first turn, and my opponent will still be working on getting his Froakie down. Oh, that hurts. Okay, that would have been nice, but not 100% necessary. And unfortunately, I don't think my opponent's going to have a whole lot of item cards. I think he put a float stone. Oh, I think that retreats on its own. So I'm not really sure here. This is a little bit of a dead hand, but it's okay. We can work around this. Yep, we should have this as a Pyroar pretty soon. Too bad this doesn't have effects too. It's just item and supporter. If it was effects, then all the flying ninja stars would be... That's interesting. Is it the old Froakie? Yeah, oh, this is the old gray ninja. Oh boy. So 140 will be nice, but the problem is I can't get this Volcanion out of the active spot. I'm hoping I draw a Guzma here. That would be perfect. I would probably take out the Staryu. As much as I'd like to take this guy out or one of these guys out. Alright, so might as well put the energy on the Volcanion. Brigitte's going to give me 2 more Litleos. Lily's going to give me 2 cards. I need the 2 cards, actually. So right now, see, the Brigittes are clogging up my hand, and that's kind of what I said would happen before. Alright, so my Volcanion's ready to go. I'm tempted to put a double colorless on him, get Pyroar out, and start knocking these guys around. Because I can knock out the first one. But he's going to one-shot me because I'm weak to water. I mean, 80 is going to do it, so this is not a good... I will one-shot his guys, but I was just a step slow, I think, here. And it's my weakness deck, so... Oh, I love this deck, huh? Isn't it just great? Yeah, he's pretty much set up, and I'm in huge trouble. A Guzma would really save me. I don't know who I'd go after. Maybe I'd go after this Gray Ninja first, because he's one-shotting me anyway, but darn, he's going to start hitting off my little guys here. And that's fine. Again, I have 4 of these, so cool thing is, not a lot of people are playing 4 stadiums in their decks anymore, it doesn't seem. I would like him to knock out the Volcanion. I'm fine with that. If I have to play Brigitte, that's okay too. Surprised he doesn't have the special energy. And boy, would I like to knock the Starmie out, but I'm too late for that. I've got to get his ninjas. Ooh! That is interesting. Alright, he did not knock him out. Now, do I waste an energy on him? If I waste an energy... See, I have a dilemma here. See, now I wish I had an Oranguru almost. I play one, I play this, I put an energy down, I have an Oranguru, I can draw some cards, so... You know what? I can draw a card with him on the bench. So this is what I figure. Okay, I'll explain this in a second. Let me just do Brigette. One more Volcanion. Okay, so I have another Litleo in my prize, which I don't really care if he comes out or not. Alright, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to retreat here. I'm going to knock out his Greninja. And that's going to draw me a card. And even when he gets knocked out by this guy, I'm going to have the Volcanion to power up these guys. So I don't have to worry too much. So I'll get one from there. Not the card I was looking for at all. So he's going to knock out my Pyroar, most certainly, because he can discard a card to even get an energy with the Starmie. So I'm just going to assume that Pyroar is getting knocked out. There you go. So Space Beacon, doesn't need that. Not only does he not need it because I don't have any GX cards out there, but Lysandre's Lab makes that irrelevant. So here we go. We're going to get knocked out here. Oh, I did not want to see that. I did not want to see that. Because it looked like my biggest hopes were that. That's even worse. I think I'm toast here. I'm completely toast. Because I think now Volcanion goes away. If he knocks out 2 here, I think I'm done. Because then I have nothing. Let's see. No, he doesn't, so I'm actually still alive. Yep, that weakness hurts. So I would use Rescue Stretcher here to put him back in my deck. Ah, Lele. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm going to put Pyroar in my hand. Because I can get the little guy out later. I'm not playing Brigette now. How many energy are in here? If it's just one, I'm going to look for a Sycamore, I think. Let's not play the energy yet. I'd like to get a Sycamore because that'll get the Brigette out of my hand. That'll put a second energy in there for Volcanion. Yes, alright. So with fire decks and Volcanion and stuff like that, Sycamore, you know, that's another synergy there, is using Sycamore to get fire into your discard, and then that makes Volcanion better because I have 2 Pokemon here. Alright, so this doesn't help me that much. I'm scared he's going to target this, but so I'm going to do these 2 guys with energy. I really don't want to use Max Elixir right now. I guess maybe for Volcanion, but I'm going to have these guys next. So let's hold on if we can get a Litleo. The problem is, with 170 hit points, with 150, he's still out of range. I can use Guzma here. So if this Greninja is not broken, and he's going to be broken in a second, maybe we go after Starmie and just hope that somehow things work out. Because I can't one-shot any of these, and I mean, I could go after this guy for 140 and then hope the next Volcanion. So now I'm trading 3 for 1. The other thing I can do is go after this Frogadier, but maybe by getting Starmie out, I won't get all the ninjas. Oh, well, he's got 2 there. That's it. This Pyroar is dead. With 2 Water Shuriken. So, I'll just Guzma this guy, but I'm pretty much toast, it would seem. I almost should not have put the double colorless on him. You know, in retrospect, that would have been the better play, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I really didn't have a chance to win this game. If my opponent was set up right. It's one of those, like, if your opponent cannot get the cards they need, then I have a chance. But yeah, oh, he's gonna go after Lele? Why would you play that? Does he have a Sycamore? Why would you play that? To get out of your hand, maybe? To get out of your deck? Okay. Not really sure. Oh, that hurts. And I don't have one in my hand, and I don't have the ability to draw. And I will not have enough to knock out this Starmie either. So at best I could go have a Frogadier. Although if I knock any of these with just 80 damage, I mean, it puts it in range, but yeah, things are looking very bleak here. I mean, the idea is this deck, my deck, will do good against decks that actually need to, like, use lots of energy, and it hurts them when you knock them out. But Grey Ninja is... Ooh! Wow, that's interesting. I want to look through my deck here. So I have a Rescue Stretcher, Super Rod. Lots of draw cards sitting there. Starmie needs an energy to retreat, so even if I do that... So now what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to try to get an energy on this Volcanion here. Maybe I can get him up to 100. 3 energy. Yeah, this hurt that he took my stadium away and that I kind of fell flat here. Also that the Pokemon I just powered up are all dead, so, you know, that kind of hurts too. I'll give you a broken heart there for that. Now he's going to chuck that energy. I'm done, because he can chuck this card for 2 energy and knock out this Pyroar. And then what do I really have here? I mean, if I really want to fight it out, I'm going to Guzma this guy and knock him out with this Volcanion. Let's see. He should... I don't know. There's so many ways he can defeat me here. It's just like counting all the different ways. Do you double Shuriken Pyroar? No, you take this Volcanion out. It's over. It's over. Oh wait. Let's give you played well. And now we're gonna call it over. And hopefully, well, I'm gonna play again. I'm gonna break my rule and play again, and see if we come up with a non-evil deck to play against. Alright, so it's not the same deck. I kind of thought it might be. I think I want another Litleo here. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say my opponent's not going to knock out my head guy. So let's put an energy on him. Let's use this Max Elixir and hope I can get an energy on my bench Litleo. And Cynthia, give me a brand new hand. Let's see what we got. I'm very scared of what my opponent has. Alright, so Pyroar and double colorless and lots of good stuff. So this is looking okay. If I had a non-water deck up in front of me, I would feel great. I do not feel great. But even if he knocks out this Litleo, I've got the next Pyroar ready. But I'm curious what he's playing. I mean, the other thing about this, ooh, energy removal. That could be scary. The interesting thing about this deck is it's 120 hit points, so all the 110 hit point guys are, you know, all the Pokemon that hit for 110 doesn't knock this guy out. No, that hurt. I'm thinking Pyroar double colorless. I'm not sure. What deck is this? What does this guy do? Heal 60. This Pokemon can't attack. Why would anyone use this card? There's got to be a Mega there, right? What's going on here? Alright. I know my opponent has more energy disruption because he chucked a hammer. There's 2 hammers there. but you know what? Call me stupid. I'll try this. I'm going to do this and this. And I'm going to play Brigette, actually, because I got to wait a turn. Let's do that. I could retreat, but no. Like Slowking, I know, if you're doing water disruption. I'm not familiar with this. Yep. There you go. Did he miss? What happened there? My opponent disconnect or something? I don't even know what emotion to make. He played it, and it did not knock out this energy. Maybe he accidentally didn't select it. That's one of the problems I have, and it's happened to me plenty of times, where I'll play a Field Blower and I'll select, you know, a tool, and it doesn't actually get rid of it because it's not. I didn't select it properly, or you know, it's such a small little window. And I'm sure my opponent's frustrated, and I definitely feel for him there. I need an energy, and I don't want to play Sycamore here. I need a single fire energy, and I'm even going to go through this, and I don't get it. Oh boy. What do I use here? Cynthia, because I need a new hand. Either that or I use this, and I'm going to take Ultra Ball, actually. I'm going to get rid of some cards. I think I'm going to get rid of these two. We'll take another Pyroar. If I had a Guzma, I would definitely start looking to hunt these guys down. I'm scared to put this on him. But I don't want to kill off this Remoraid. This guy's going to one-shot me now. Let's wait. Let's see. If my opponent one-shots me, he one-shots me. Then I'm going to cry a lot. Because I'll have to play Lillie. Alright, he's got Octi going. And I don't have my Stadium either. This game is turning out very odd for both of us. My opponent taking a long time to develop, and he stunted mine with all these hammers. Although he missed on the enhanced hammer there. Which is fortunate for me. Alright, another Remoraid, another Slowpoke. Is he going to use him to distribute the energy? And the double Colorless is a big target there. So this guy's got to go. I think more so than the EXs, because the EXs are going to get to active anyway. Because he's dangerous with these. I have to get these Volcanions up in the active and get them. Alright, so what does this guy do? This Pokemon is not confused. This Pokemon alone does 100 more damage. Alright, I can take that. Oh! He can't be affected with item of supporter cards. That's why the hammer did not work with him. Alright. We need to get a regular fire energy. No. No. Alright. I think I'm going to bite the bullet here. I'm going to bite the bullet here. I'm going to retreat with this Pyroar. So you see, I said it before. Playing a deck like this definitely has its advantages, and we saw it there. You know, definitely my opponent did not realize this hammers do not work against the Pyroars. Oh, this is good. Cynthia, another lab in case he knocks this one out. This is great. Okay, he's gonna one-shot me and be confused. I'm gonna put this Pyroar up. I really want to get rid of this guy. Oh, I'm going to get an N here. That's good. Probably get a fire energy. Where did my fire energies go? Only got one there. There's one. Okay. Alright. Field Blower, though we don't need it. Now we do need it. So he's going to do 200 damage because it's going to get doubled. And he's not going to get confused because of this. So, We have a little match in our hands. Do I go after this slow bro? Do I go after this guy here? Trying to think, who do I use this Max Elixir on? I'm gonna do it on this Litleo here. I could Ultra Ball and then try to get rid of this guy here before he gets powered up. I could even try to take out his Octillery. The problem with this deck is I don't have good retreat options. Alright, let's... Do I play Field Blower now or do I go for my Stadium? Let's go. Let's play a little risky here. I'm gonna hope I get a Stadium back in my hand. Nope, but I did get another Field Blower. Wow, I got lucky there. Let's get rid of that. No. Alright, there was 2 Stadiums at least there, so in the top 7. There's definitely Stadiums in my deck. Problem is, right now, I'm not doing as much damage as I hoped. And, yeah, he's 140 away, so I'm a Stadium and a Pyroar being powered up, so... I think I might try to Guzma, maybe like this Octillery. Oh, and my Stadium would also prevent his Spirit Links too, which is good. Yeah, there's Slowking. Slowking's gotta go. So Volcanion's definitely going in the top active spot next, because I need my Volcanions to go. Because those Slowkings can really hurt me. There's 100. You can only get this Litleo. So I don't really see how this slow bro helps. Except he does 200 on his next turn. So this will be 400. I'm fine with this. This will give me a little reprieve, actually. Unless he's got a Stadium in his hand and he's holding on to it. I'm doing this because I want this Volcanion to be knocked out sooner than later. Because this guy scares me. There you go. I had a feeling he was holding on to that. It was well played. Still far away from knocking out this guy. He's low on cards here. This is good. So this Pyro will be fully powered up. My Stadium's back in effect again. Should I wait? 140 will knock him out. I'm going to wait. And this is fine, because really he could just shuffle this energy around. It's really not going to hurt me all that much. I mean, I'll start losing it on this guy, and this guy will get too much. There's a Lele. Oh, he's going to go for a Guzma here. How many did he use? Only has 1, so... He's definitely, Oh, Cynthia. Interesting. This deck usually has better draw hands because I usually knock out my opponent's Pokemon, but with the water decks I'm facing, it has not gone that way. So 2 bad matchups for me. I mean, really, against weakness. I should have just quit early on, but it's alright. You know, sometimes you've got to see how the deck does against adversity. And, yeah, sure, he'll knock out this Volcanion. I'm going to get him out. And it'll be 3-2, so still be close, even though I have a weakness. I'm going to hold on to this energy, actually. And I'm going to knock this guy out. That'll give me 2 cards. because I think the Slowking's going to move him. Well, he's going to knock me out anyway. Doesn't matter. He's going to knock me out anyway. So 140 there. Grab 2 cards. Oof, not really what I want to see there. I think Gladion will get me another Pyroar, but I think I'm toast here because I just do not have enough Pokemon. My opponent only has 4 cards in his deck, and he's using an Ultra Ball. That is an interesting choice. Is he looking to see what's in his deck? He got rid of the Guzma of all things. But there's only 2 prizes. I guess he doesn't need the Guzma. What I'm going to do is, he's got what, Artillery here? Slowking. I'm going to see, can I play a Guzma with no one on my bench? I think I can. I'm going to call this Guzma, I'm going to call this Artillery to active. And hope that within 4 cards, my opponent does not have 2 energies. I mean, this is a 50-50 shot, right? He probably, does he have a switch? What if I knock this guy once first? Let's attack him once. Then I have a 50-50 shot of losing. Which is about the same if, well, how much energy is here? Let's see, how much energy do we think this guy has? It's 4, 10. Does he have 12 in his deck? I'm gonna wimp out. That's it, I'm wimping out. Let's go for the deck out. 3 cards left. No, that's not what I want to see. But you know what? I have another Guzma, and he's got another one with 2 retreat. So we're going like this. Let's do it. I'm wimping out. 3 cards left. Can I win? No, this is crazy. 2 cards. Does he have 2 energy left in his deck? I'm not playing anything. Maybe Gladion. Just to see what's here. Oh, I think the Lele. Maybe if I need another Guzma, but we're gonna hold off. This is not. I've not won a deck out with this deck yet. Usually games are over very quickly, but I'm gonna give a few that was close. What is this? Lele. So he's looking to see what his last card is. I'm going to give him a well played no matter what. Oh, man, I can't believe I won that game. All right, so I'm going to go back over. Oh, man, that was just NVTS nuts. I don't know what to say. Obviously, neither game was exactly what I expected. And neither showcased pretty much what this deck can do. I really implore you to try it. If you have 2 Volcanion, if you have 2 Lele or 2 Oranguru, try this deck out. These Pyroars are pretty cheap. This is a great budget deck. It plays much better than I did there. Lysandre Labs is usually good. You're usually knocking out their guys. It's usually a knockout fest. You're knocking out their guys. They're knocking out yours. But if theirs are GXs, you're getting the advantage of it. And usually this deck can hang with pretty much anything. Can go toe-to-toe. I just happened to face 2 water decks. I won the second game. I guess I would call it more on luck. I mean, you're facing a water deck. I should have lost easily. Although the cool thing is you did get to see this Unnerve ability, which prevents item or supporter cards, so that energy denial did not work. And I think the Lysandre Labs might have got him on one of the Megas. I wasn't sure, but you can see even if he had a Float Stone there, wasn't going to work. So there's a disruptive element to this deck. There is a strength to this deck, that 140 attack. I'm so glad I played those Guzmas in that last game from a strategy standpoint, although that has almost nothing to do with this deck. But it's good to, you know, be aware of these things when you're playing, to look through your deck, see what you have, see what you don't have, be aware of what your opponent has, what he's played. I even counted his energy there. But anyway, this is a great deck. Please don't let those 2 water games stop you from making it. This is a cheap card. You can get these easily. You know, you get 4 of these. You know, just do a 1 pack for 2 Pyroar, 2 Litleo. You'll get them. So for 2 packs, you could pretty much, you'll have most of these other cards. You can make this deck. This is a fun deck. try it out, and thanks, and until next time.